Good morning. My name is Sopan Khani. I'm a director of Plug and Play IoT and Mobility Program, and super excited to have you guys here today. Welcome to Plug and Play Winter Summit Day 2. 2 points before we start. You see 2 links here on this page. Link 1, you can see the event brochure. So if you find more information about startups, if you want to help us with voting, please go to that link. And link number 2 is for it's called Brilla app. It's for networking. So the room across the cafeteria, game room, you can set up a meeting with the startups or corporates that you want to talk to them, and use this app to network with people. So very quick kind of overview of Plug and Play. For some of you who were here yesterday, we had our actually fall summit a couple months before. We covered 5 of our topics. The topics that we covered in Fall Summit was brand and retail, food and beverage, new material and packaging, energy and supply chain. Yesterday, we covered InsurTech and we covered health. Today, we're covering mobility in the morning, IoT in the afternoon, and also travel and hospitality. So for those of you who don't know Plug and Play, we do different things, from investment to mentorship, to events like this, big events like this, and corporate innovation. So we would like to connect startups to corporation for so many different reasons, from investment to POC to licensing. And this is an environment to make connection between startups and corporations to work together, to collaborate, to build the future of different industries, from automotive to InsurTech to banking and so on, different topics that we cover. I really love this slide since it shows the model works. We have Fortune 500 companies working with us. And obviously, there are overlaps between these innovation platforms. What we see in connected health might be applicable for our mobility program. And the fact that we have expert in the health space, the expert in InsurTech space to filter down the startups with us, help us to introduce you guys to top-notch startups at the end of the day. What we do here in Silicon Valley, we also do around the world. We have 25 offices worldwide, and specifically IoT and mobility program. We have Germany, Stuttgart, and Berlin. We have China, Beijing, and Shanghai. And we recently launched our Japan office, Tokyo, that we're adding mobility topic to the Japan in 2018. But at the end of the day, the idea is to plug in startups in this ecosystem globally to help them grow internationally. We kind of recently merged the 2 topics of IoT and mobility together. Obviously, mobility is anything from going from point A to point B. Very industry standard from either called CASE or ACE, from connected car to autonomous driving to shared economy and electrification. Topic 2 would be around industrial IoT, since all the OEMs and tier 1 suppliers also interested in smart manufacturing, smart factory, industry 4.0 in general. And the last part would be around home and building. So the future of automotive, there are a lot of talks that car can be extended part of the living room. So we did find it relevant to have these topics also cover between mobility, industry 4.0, and also home and building. A little bit more focus on mobility. So the startups that you're going to meet with them today, they went through this filtration process with us and with help of our corporate partners to get to this point. In the past 6 months, we had, on stage 1, we had sourcing season. We found more than 500 startups through different channels of university partners, international partners, call for application, and our venture team who's actively looking for startups to match our corporate partners' tech interest. From there, we narrowed down to top 100 based on their team, technology, and traction, and we shared that list with our corporate partners on the left. Companies like ZF, Farsia, Michelin, and so on. And with their judgment, we narrowed down to 35. We had our selection day back in August, and these companies, these startups presented, and with the help of corporate partners, we selected 25 of them. So the companies that you're going to meet with them today, they're going to present, they went through multiple filtration process. Who do we have in the platform? We have OEMs like Daimler, Renault Nissan, and we have tier 1 suppliers, companies like Valeo, Bosch, Farsia. And what we want to grow this network, we want to grow this platform. So the bigger corporations that we have, that does attract better startups, and better startups attract better corporations too. So at the end of the day, the idea is to have bigger platform to help these innovative ideas go to the market in the future. From the filtration process that you see, a lot of people think that we only work with early stage startups. That's not the case. You can see the stage breakdown. Half of them, I would say, they are seed stage, raised less than $2 million. Around 26% of them raised between $2 to $7 million. And the rest of them, we have companies who raise $55 million. They are here not for small check from plug and play or office space. They are here to connect with you guys, with big corporations, to grow faster. And in terms of plug and play investment, out of 25 companies that we have in the batch, we might invest in 5 or 6 of them based on the feedback we receive from you guys, from corporate partners. And you can see the technology breakdown. These companies are not only from Silicon Valley or US, they're coming from around the world. As you can see, 56% of them, they are from US, Canada, or Argentina, 22% from Europe, from Germany, from France, from UK, and another 22% from Asia. So this is the beauty of platform that we develop here in Plug and Play to promote these startups and attract them from around the world and connect them to you guys. Some success stories from last batch. We had actually 3 exits from the 25 companies we had previously, beginning of 2017. We had Aro, autonomous shuttle for campuses that got acquired by RideSail, another bigger startup basically. We had Inevit, where actually their CTO, Martin Eberhard, former CEO of Tesla, he formed that company 6 months before joining our program, and 2 months ago, they sold it to like SF Motors for $33 million. So as you can see, the quality of the startup is fairly high. And last one, eMotorworks, acquired by Enel. So that's one of the investment from one of our corporate partners, Hella actually. This batch, from the introduction that we had between corporates and startups, we had more than 300 introduction. And that's like a benefit of plug and play for startups and for corporations. Each of the 25 startups that we had in the batch, on average, they get 10 introduction to big corporation like Daimler, like Farsia, like ZF. So this helps them a lot to grow faster. With that, I actually want to ask 3 of our corporate partners who were more active in the platform in the past 3 months to join us on the stage, and also our CEO, Said Amidi, to say a few words. Thank you so much. Farsia, ZF, maybe you guys can come. Said?
Oops, I'm glad to have you here. You know, I think this Sopan did a great job in presenting Plug and Play as a whole, as well as the mobility division. So I don't have a lot to add, but I just wanted to little bit point out what we have done with the satellite offices. Like in Stuttgart, we've been operating for about 18 months. And in the first batch in Stuttgart, I think we had 10 or 11 startups. In the second batch, we had 28. And in the third batch, we had 32. And the batch that is running right now, I know, for example, Mercedes is doing more than 15 pilots. Porsche is doing somewhere between 10 or 15. And we kind of feel when we are closer to the factory, closer to the head office, there is a lot easier for the engineering teams to work with startup. And going back to the people who are at the stage with us, we feel there is a learning curve, even for Mercedes, to get to know how to work with a startup, combining their internal R&D with external ideas or technology to implement new technology in less than 100 days inside the car. And then later on, they can see if it worked really well to really put it into production. So with that, we really wanted to congratulate our partners that have joined us recently. I was with Hella in China. The incredible growth in the automotive industry in China. I think they just produced 28 million cars, becoming the larger than US and Europe as the biggest car producer in the world. And we really would love you guys to join us not only here, but in China, in Tokyo, and in Germany, and maybe someday in Detroit. So with that, I love that if you sort of share with us a little bit your experience in the last 3 to 6 months.
Okay, thank you. So, well, thank you for the honor. Well, thank you for the great job that you're doing here. We've been involved with Plug and Play for a little bit more than 6 months. In fact, we've been involved with Plug and Play for now almost 5 years, I think, Stephen, right? And we've decided this year to increase our contribution by becoming an anchor. We saw you really improving all these years, and now the quality of the startup that we are meeting is really increased a lot also. So, it's like everything in life, we decided to put a bit more in, so we expect, of course, more return from that, and we look forward to the 2018 selection process, which we believe is going to be really, really exciting and really, really good. So we're looking for that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. 5 years is a good, long history together.
Thank you so much. And we've seen a lot recently with Guillaume and Rob and his team. They added a lot of activity here in Silicon Valley. You're going to hear about them more in 2019. We are doing a lot with them, so super excited to have them on board. Hella, unfortunately, they couldn't make it for the morning session. They're coming after the break, so they come on stage after we get a 15-minute break. But also wanted to introduce ZF. They've been working with us really closely, and whenever they meet with the startups, they're always super excited to have technical knowledge. And we also hosted their CEO. We had a very quick video from that. We also shared that with you guys. But with that, Vicky?
Yes, do you want me to say something? Yeah. Okay. Yes, so I have to say I really enjoy working with Plug and Play. It's now, I think, 1 year and 3 months since we started our partnership. I also want to thank you, Said, for hosting us in the beginning when we opened up our innovation hub here in Silicon Valley. It's not as easy as we thought it might be, but it's tremendous the help that we get, and also Soban, Johannes, and all the others, Tarek, for their help. The fast help, and I really, really enjoy being here, and I will recommend to everyone in the industry to work with you. So it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
I want to add something. For some of the corporates in the room, realistically, our collaboration with Mercedes or with ZF or with everybody reaches much stronger after they have their CEO, their executive team here. Because kind of like it's not easy for this, big corporations to collaborate with startups. But after we call it almost like an executive retreat. They have their board meeting here sometimes, and they spend 3 days, 4 days visiting even Tesla, visiting Google. Then suddenly they say, my God, we need to be more interactive with technology and startups. So I recommend all of you to, if you like, we can co-host an executive tour for you.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Vicky, thank you, Guillaume. Maybe with that very quick video from CEO of ZF that he visited us about 2-3 months ago.
We want to reduce mobility to zero accidents and zero emission. And every technology, whether it's come from startups, whether it's come from big companies, is welcome to join our eco network and support our Vision Zero. The future of mobility will change dramatically in the next 10 to 15 years. There will be, especially in urban areas, a lot more robot cars of shared mobility. So it will be a coexistence of the mobility as we know it today and new mobility technologies and needs which we will see in the future. It's for us of high value to work with Plug and Play because they have the know-how. They also introduce the processes and methodologies to work together with startups and provide a good basis to get into touch with startups and to include them into our eco network. My advice to other corporations in terms of collaboration with startups, please leave them the freedom to operate, to live their ideas, to keep their creativity, and support them only there where they need strength and guidance from bigger partners.
With that, we also have one last word. We have a new announcement. We have a new corporate partners joining us in our platform, big Chinese OEM. And actually, there are a lot of talks about connected car, autonomous driving. And people say like the technology is almost there, but the biggest challenge after that would be regulation. And with Chinese OEM owned by government, I think they have better opportunity to like pass that regulation challenges. And we're super happy to have SAIC also join us in our platform. We're going to have a very quick ceremony or signing ceremony here. Mr. Maxwell, if you guys can join us on the stage. Thank you.
This signing ceremony I learned from China.
Maybe also a few words from Michael as well, and we're going to take a picture and we're done with this.
Good morning. My name is Michael Cohen. I'm with SAIC Capital, and we represent SAIC, Shanghai Automotive Industrial Corporation. It's actually the 45th largest company in the world. We're the largest automotive OEM in China. We have 2 joint venture partners, GM and Volkswagen, and then we make a number of cars underneath our own brand. In the United States, we have 3 entities, SAIC Capital, which is a $200 million venture capital fund. So we make investments in autonomous driving, connected vehicles, HMI, artificial intelligence, software, security, and disruptive business models. We also have an innovation center in San Jose, about 30 engineers with the main focus on autonomous driving and electrification. And we also have an entity in Michigan, which works on trading. But again, very excited to be a part of Plug and Play and look forward to working with you.
Thank you so much. It's a great honor. We have one more announcement to make before the end of the year with the large Japanese car, but I can't tell you now who it is. But it's a great honor to start working with you guys, both here as well as in China. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Said. Thank you, guys.